vital topic for most of our business owners and people in the aviation industry. So I've got just a couple of slides and I'm going to jump into our workshop. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, there's a real small group today, which is really nice because it's December. So feel free to jump in at any time. Gee, good to see you. I'm glad you're here as well. We were just talking about fly fishing before you came on.
Oh my gosh, did I miss that part?
You did.
Can we rewind?
We can. Dean, this is David Hasselberg.
I grew up in Washington State, so I traveled all over, fly fishing all the way to Silver Creek, Idaho, to anywhere I could find, and steelheaded. And out of all places, I picked Oklahoma City to finish my craft off of fly fishing, which isn't much. So I'm very jealous of being able to go back to Seattle and having family there, but my sister just moved down to Oregon by the Deschutes River, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Wow.
That's the only river in Oregon you cannot drift fish.
Oh, really?
You have to get out of the boat. No fishing from the boat.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Well,
but you're real close to the Metolius River, which is a spring fed.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Lots of
We're going to
snakes.
have you do a workshop on fly fishing. I
Here
had
we
no
go.
idea we had
Here
so
we go.
many people interested.
Oh yeah.
Topic.
Yeah.
Great. All right, well, let's jump into it, and we'll probably have some time afterwards, and we'll come back to fly fishing as a reward for suffering through budgets, right?
Oh,
And,
we have this backwards.
Yeah. Strategy, planning, and budget. So this is part of our marketing lab, and I guess most of you are already in our marketing lab, but we're also going to use this as an advertisement, so I'm recording this bit. So all levels get workshops. So if you're in our marketing lab, you have access to the workshops. All you have to do is log in, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. And that's super easy to do. Okay, so the problem that we were trying to solve, and the reason we put this workshop together, is because strategy, planning, and budgeting is hugely time-consuming and horrifying. I used to get my stomach in knots over doing an annual budget for a boss in corporate America. And, it was a nightmare. But one thing that I did find out is the more organized I was and the more prepared I was for that, the more likely I was to get my budget approved and to be super confident throughout the year because I didn't have to go begging for money every month. And then as an entrepreneur, of course, I don't beg for money. I just have to come up with it. But it is so much easier if I know how much I have to come up with and by when, because I know when my big shows are coming up. I know when the ad buys are going to happen. I know when my big expenses are. I know when I'm going to have, a trade show booth paid for or whatever. So it is always so worth it to do the budgeting, no matter how much you hate it. And, the strategy and the planning, no matter how busy you are. Everybody with me so far? Do you sympathize? I think everybody here is an entrepreneur, right?
Well, they call me that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
that's right. Can't spell it, but that's what they call me.
Okay. So you guys are doing budgets for yourself. You're not presenting them to someone else. So we'll kind of focus that way for the purpose of today. Which is great. So that makes it easier. So this workshop, we used to have it available year round, but it is very time consuming to kind of support because whenever people get into it, they have questions and they have problems and they have other things. And so it's only going to be available during December and January, and it's only going to be available to clients only. So, we used to sell this workshop. We're not doing that anymore. You have to be a client to use this because we don't really care about your budget unless you are a client. Or at least we don't know you well enough to give you good advice, is a better way of putting that, I suppose. Okay. So this is what's included in this workshop, and I'm going to jump into how you get there and how you use the tools and toys and everything else. So the first thing is our sales and marketing toolkit in Google Sheets. The reason we use Google Sheets is because, number one, it's fairly easy, it's free, everybody can use it. Some people like Excel, like my husband, John, in the next office, would never put numbers into a Google Sheet because he feels like it's a security risk. So you can always export this to an Excel spreadsheet and use it on your own computer. If you're planning on sharing it with anybody else, it's really nice to have it in Google Sheets. Suggestions for sales and marketing goals, diagrammable sales process, sales type. Are we good? Are we question? No? Okay. A diagrammable sales process, a sales pipeline with recommended activities, a media calendar template to make your content posting more deliberate and organized. If we're doing the posting for you, you can ignore that part because we've got it taken care of for you. Marketing calendar templates in MS Word, short videos to walk you through each of these things. So, if you didn't attend this meeting live, or if you have a question later, like I always do after the fact and after we've talked about it, that is a problem. And you get online support from our fabulous team and online consultations via Zoom. So why don't I just use my CRM for this? Why can't I just use my CRM? It has some features in here for things like sales forecasting and things like content calendars and things like that. And if you're using something like Salesforce or HubSpot or Infusionsoft, or Gene, I think you're using Zoho.
Right. Yep.
Right. And David, I don't know what you're using.
Man, I don't either. So
okay, cool.
I'm using my
I got a question.
My wit.
Okay. You're using your wits.
Yes.
Can we get from the FAA say a list of Part 141 flight schools that we could import to Salesforce or something?
Good
as
question.
A target market?
That is an excellent question, and yes, you can. You can get those lists from the FAA website. It is not for the faint of heart. You're going to need some programming skills in order to do it, because the way that they manage that is most people go through a subscription service like JetNet or AirPack or something like that, because the FAA website is kind of deliberately hard to use.
So there's a service we could contract that would get that data?
Yes.
So we can input into a Salesforce, a CRM?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Right. So you can get like the 141 operators from AirPack, is a service that provides that list. You cannot send them unsolicited email because of the CAN-SPAM Act of 2020.
Okay.
But what you can do is send them, and we've done this a lot, send them a postcard with an offer, saying opt into my weekly tips or whatever, and then they can opt into your email list. That's one way to do it.
So send them a postcard with an offer, and if
let them opt in.
back, then we can use the information to contact. Okay.
Right. We have had clients, and this is being recorded, so I will tell you this, but don't tell anybody else. I have had clients import their list into their mail system and send a one-off email, saying, hey, I'm starting this service in New Mexico. If you're interested in updates, please subscribe to my list, or, let me know if you're interested or not, and just have a yes or no button on that email. And sending an email one time, especially with an unsubscribe button, I have never seen anybody actually sued for that, even though it's technically illegal. And I am not a lawyer, so this is not legal advice.
So you're talking basically emailing and stuff like that when you're talking about this, just so.
Any kind of marketing. So whether you're doing
Oh, okay,
postcards,
okay. Well, marketing, yeah,
yeah,
I have done the postcards. I've had some pretty good success with the direct mail postcards using
Okay.
AirPack as a address, and who where I'm dialing in at which model of airplane, or if I want to cover all airplanes.
right.
That, and I don't do any emailing, to be honest with you, because right now I get so swamped with
Mhm.
the emailing. That's where I have to do is I have to start figuring out how to capture the email, like you said, and being able to organize them, because I have so many people say, "Hey, I'm looking for this plane," and
Mhm.
then I finally find the plane, but I can't find the customer because I didn't put them over there.
Yeah,
I start digging through my phone like it's a
A
scavenger.
database manager.
right.
Yeah,
Let's do something, and I'll talk about this for just a minute, but then we'll want to take this conversation offline. But um, what I would suggest for you is that we set up a form on your website that
yeah,
says, I'm interested in Pipers, I'm interested in 172, however detailed we want
yes,
to get, and
yes,
have them enter their information, and they want to be notified whenever you have a fill in the blank. And we
right.
can put in as many categories as you want on that. We can do that with a free MailChimp subscription to start with. Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, we can put a form on your website that will capture that
I've
information.
used I've used Constant Contact before on another business.
Okay.
But I've never used Mailchimp, but
Yeah.
Mailchimp's fine if you guys can.
Yeah.
I mean, it don't matter to me. I
Constant
just know I
contact
gotta
and
control the situation a little bit better. It's just a lot of emails every day, and
right. Constant contact and MailChimp are kind of six of one, half dozen of the other. Uh,
yeah,
I think MailChimp has a little bit better reporting on for less money,
right.
without spending extra dollars. But we can certainly put something together for you that's going to capture that information.
Okay. Does that work too with, say, I get a lot of like trade plane and all this other stuff that comes in on my, is there any way of capturing that information automatically to where I can just send it over and it can store it, or is that going to be more of a manually operated
Um,
activity?
you're wanting to capture contact information for
Yeah.
human beings that want to make a purchase, right?
Yes.
Okay, that we can do.
Okay. Okay.
But the trade a plane, I'm not sure what you mean exactly.
Well, I get when anybody is looking at a plane, they'll email me through Trade a Plane,
Ah,
asking for the information about, hours. I mean, they'll ask the same questions that was on the ad,
yeah.
but they'll say, I'm interested in this plane. I like to be able to capture that information automatically somehow instead of having to look at it, copy and paste and put all the emails and stuff in there, and so if I sell that plane, I got another one coming up. I know where to, I don't know if there's any sort of program that automatically
We'll parse the emails that
extracts
come
it.
in.
Yeah, that extracts that information or not. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
I don't know of anything that does that.
Okay.
No,
Just
I
good old
think
hard work.
there's a great business opportunity for
it
somebody
is.
though. Okay. I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's fine. It's fine.
okay. Cool. So, this is how I get to this course. It's on aviationsalestraining.com. Or, of course, you can get here through Circle, which is, everybody has access to this if you're in our group. So, this is the uh, kind of the internal social network that we use. We've got links to everything in here, strategy, planning, and budgeting, and so on. But anyway, I'm going to use this link because I'm already logged in. And of course, you can bookmark any of our courses. If you are having trouble getting into any of them, just let me know. We can reset your password or do whatever we need to do to make that work for you. So I just wanted to show you the gist of what's in this. We've only got about 45 minutes today, so
Okay.
It's going to be a whirlwind tour, and there's going to be a lot of things that we're not going to be able to go into a lot more detail about, but do feel free to answer questions and we'll get as far as we can.
Your ding dong just woke my dog up. Thank you.
Uh-oh. Hey, Anna Marie, good to see you.
Write down the details right then and there and put it in 5 places or it doesn't happen.
Okay, I'm going to mute Anna Marie. I'm sorry, but you're welcome to unmute yourself whenever you're whenever.
It's okay. I'll settle down.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm really happy that you showed up. Right now, we're just going through the course and showing people how this works. Sometimes our courses have prerequisites and things that you have to finish this lesson before you go to another one. This one is kind of intended to be a reference library. So if all you need is like the keywords and hashtags section, you can go straight to that. And you just go ahead and click into that. It will show you which lessons you've done and which lessons are still out there. So you can see your postal address. I've already done that. All of our courses have this thing, how to use this course, how to customize your profile. We need a postal address because we're going to send you some stuff, and so on. So this one, we'll start with this, Aviation Sales Toolkit. Most of this stuff is available in this, and this is where you're going to say, why don't I just use my CRM? But everybody that I know that has a CRM is not doing everything they could or should be doing with it. So you can download this from this location. There's a button and a link, one or the other should work with you. You can make your own copy. You can download it to Excel. So once you've downloaded this, it's going to look like this on your computer in a separate tab. I'm using it in Google Sheets right now. Don't tell John. But I'm not going to do anything that's a security risk, right? So what this has in it is pretty much everything that we use in our business. And, a lot of people say, how do I create a Facebook page? How do I find a name for a product? Those kinds of things. A lot of these things are here. How do I set up lead feeder on my site if I haven't already? How do I set up Google Analytics? Some of these things you're going to want to use. Some of them you're not. But these are kind of the most useful things that we have found in our 15 years of doing business. If you want a Stripe account, a Survey account, a Zapier account, a Vimeo account, anything like that, these are all things that we collected links to because we get a lot of requests for how do I do a chat on my Facebook and things like that. And of course, we can help you with any of these as well. Okay, so this has a bunch of tabs along the bottom. You can see all these different colors. If you've used Microsoft Excel, it's pretty easy to do. This is the toolkit. This is your vision. I think it's worth doing this once a year and just going, what am I really trying to accomplish here? What am I, because that changes. 10 years ago, our business model would never have included a dealer, because we were thinking we're just going to do this with just John and me, and we're just going to do everything ourselves. And this is the way it's going to work. We made a decision a year ago, we're going to have a team of 6. And that's going to help us get through what we need to get through, provide better service. We'll be able to take a vacation every once in a while, all kinds of things like that. So it changes. So doing this once a year, I think, is really worth doing. And it's just some questions that you can answer for yourself or not as you see fit, whether that's, you can decide what of these things are worth your time and what are not. Design, how do you design your business? Who do you help? What do you want to do? Where do you want to take these people? How do you want to make this work? Why are you doing this? You want to put your kids through college, you want to get through the next year and then retire, you want to sell your business for $5 million and get out. Everybody's why is different. Okay. Top 10 list. This is one of the really cool things, and this is where you're going to be saying, why don't I just use my CRM? The problem with the CRMs is that people don't use them. So if I were to put in here, Great Circle Aircraft, Jean Clow will say I wasn't yet, or Jean wasn't yet in our group. And then Jean at gcaircraft.com. Is that right?
GC at GC Aircraft.
Oh, sorry. Okay. This assumes you do this right.
Yeah, next time I'm going to pick a shorter company name.
Oh my gosh. Try aviationbusinessconsultants.com.
Yeah, really. Okay, I'm done complaining.
Right. Okay. And I always, every time I do this, I find something else. Contact number, I'm not going to put that in. Call scheduled. Once I schedule a call with Jean, I would put the date in here. Lead source. How did we meet, Jean? I don't remember. Was that at a show or?
No, I found you because I was looking for the services that you provide.
So it was SEO. You found us on the web.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. So then I have some tasks that I can do. Did I make an initial call to Jean? We'll say yes. Are we connected on LinkedIn? I think we are.
Mm-hmm.
Are we connected on Facebook? I think we are. Have I sent you a proposal? I can say yes. Have I sent you our blue folder, which is our, actually, this is our email. You can do this email or postal. And if I wanted to change this, I can do that. I can just say postal mail info package. So, a lot of people want something. Can you send me something in the mail? Might make that your process. So you can change this to whatever your process is for working with customers. Is he signed up for our weekly emails? I think you get those, Jean.
I do.
Right. Jean is highly qualified. He has the money, authority, and need to work with us. We've worked with him on Zoom at least once. WhatsApp or other. A lot of people internationally use WhatsApp. Have I visited Jean? I have not been to your location, so that's a no. No, this is actually visit, meaning, have we had an initial sales call? And the answer is yes, it was confirmed. We are there. Jean paid us $100, I'm sure, at one point or another.
At least.
Right. Exactly. And then what I can do, and this is actually really cool if you're working with a partner like ABCI or something like that. If you want us to listen into a Zoom call, you can let people know I'm going to be recording the sales call because I'm in a sales training program or I have a coach or whatever. If they say yes, you can put the Zoom recording link here. And then, you have that forever. This is, are you guys familiar with Sandler Sales and their sales process? Whatever sales process you use, you can make this whatever stages you want. This one happens to be using Sandler Sales, where you have a pre-frame, problem, pain, possibility, path, pitch, objections, and so on. So if I know that maybe Jean's has no problems that we can solve, because his website's up, everything's working, everything's great, he's happy with his current provider and so forth, then I know that's the problem. That's why I will never sell to him until that circumstance changes. And then his objection would be maybe that no need.
$100 is too much.
Yeah, exactly. And I can put in any notes and things like that. So over the course of a year, I have done this for a year, and I'm not going to show you mine because it's has personal information about a lot of people and about myself, because I screw up the sales process all the time. I'm a student of sales myself, and I chicken out all the time of follow-ups and other things. But at least I can see, where did I get to? Where did I stop? How many sales did I make? And then one thing that I do once I've done this is turn the green. So then I know I have made a sale. And then if this sheet is all green at the end of the year, it's not going to be. Of course, there are going to be some white ones, some gray ones. I turn them gray if it's not a sale. So if this person didn't buy from me, I'm going to turn that one gray. And then I end up with a nice sheet. There we go. I end up with this fabulous sheet of information. So this is one of my favorite sheets in this spreadsheet. Any questions about this? And also I can see at a glance, how many sales have I made? How much cash have I collected? Jean, go ahead.
For someone like David, he could change those columns on the right-hand side to aircraft instead of that process.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So
And is each column sortable?
each column is, let me see if that is true. That's a good question. So if I want to sort on, and I don't usually do this in Google Sheets, but if I want to say I want to sort on, oh, that's the formula. This is a filter. I could filter by create new filter view.
No, filters will work.
No, it won't work on this sheet. Sorry. Okay. Because of some of the automation we put in here with the yeses and nos and things like that. But you can do your own color coding and things like that. You can add change any of these columns. So let's say we want to change this column for David to aircraft type that they're after.
Yeah.
Then you'll know going forward. This is a Jean, what's your favorite aircraft?
For me?
Yeah, the one that you just
Holy smokes, where do I start?
Falcon.
That I just sold the 2000 LXS.
That was
Congratulations.
That's good stuff.
XLS, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, we do that in the industry all the time because of the Cessnas.
XLS, yeah.
We see major advertising where they make that mistake, and you just kind of shake your head and go, "Geez."
Well, I'm able to spell any way I want to if I'm the one with the keyboard. So.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can use this sheet however you like. You can change anything you want about it. You can make a zillion copies of it. You can do a new one every month. Some people are going to use all of these columns. Some people are going to use 3 of these columns. You can make it whatever you want. And that's part of the reason I don't want people to get drowned in their software. I don't want people to get drowned in Salesforce and never come up and be paying thousands of dollars for software that they don't need.
Yeah.
So anyway, I do use Salesforce, but okay. So this is a sheet about, and this is one that I don't use all the time, but some people do because they are using Facebook ads or something along those lines. And so this is a situation where you can say, how much did I spend on leads in October? And, of course, I need to change the columns to 2023. But, how many applications did I get? If you're in a situation where people are filling out an application for something, I could change that to total inquiries for David. Did you handle? How many calls did you take? How many consultations did you do? How many sales did you make? And so on. Yeah. And then, based on that, there are some nice columns here that we'll talk about. How much did you spend? What's your cost per lead, your cost per booked call, your cost per sale? And this is really designed for consultants and people who do a consultation call, type of a model. So it may not be all that relevant to you guys because you guys don't book consultations and that's not part of your sales model, right?
No.
Okay.
Well, to a degree we do, but it's not really, people always asking about what kind of plane they should get into, and we'll consult them on that, but that's not real major. I mean,
right. You sometimes sell without doing a consultation. It's just a matter of arranging the transaction.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, this is kind of for the doctors, lawyers, insurance guys, people like that are, they have to do a consultation in order to make a sale.
Yeah.
So that may not be helpful to you. And then this is client tracking. So if you do an onboarding process where you have maybe people in a membership site and a Facebook group, did you do an onboarding call with them? Did you complete, and you can fill these in with whatever you need to, were you able to get them through part 1, part 2, and part 3 of whatever assignment you have? So if they had an MRO project, for Tyler, did you get all of the documentation you need for them to complete the work. Here are the projects we were going to do for them. We were going to do an engine overhaul. And we'll just do this. This is going to be a hybrid of all you guys. Or a type inspection. You know, which of our services does this person need in order to get this done? You can make this whatever you want it to be, and then you can see at the end of the year how many engine overhauls did we do, how many phase 1 inspection. There's like 3 different phase inspections that I guess you guys do.
Depends on the airplane.
Exactly, and other things. So all of these are really designed, you know, and then the most important thing that everybody should be doing is, did you ask them for a referral?
Yep.
And in this case, we have like a referral package that we can put together for clients. And this is something we can do if we haven't done it already for you. And that could be email, or it could be something that we send them as a nice gift after they've done business with you for a year. Send them a coffee mug and say, hey, thank you for doing business with us for a year.
Thank you for the coffee mug. I appreciate that.
Oh, I'm glad it got there.
Yeah, a couple of them. Yeah, that's very, very, very nice.
You're welcome. I'm glad that got there. And I did not ask you for a referral in the process of doing that, because
No, but I'm all about Porsches, and I think that's what you got on my car, a Porsche car, and I don't know if that was meant to be, but it was a good guess.
that was intended because you told me you wanted a red Porsche with a Texas license plate that says Broker One.
That's my late life crisis. That's my goal.
Fantastic. Great. So, yeah, did you send a referral package? Did they provide a referral? You know, did they provide a testimonial? You know, all of those things are in here. And did you send them a thank you gift? You know, all of those things. And then you can see at the end of the year, how are we doing with our active clients? Have we asked them all for referrals? And I like to do that at a specific time of year, like Valentine's Day or whatever. So I know that I'm doing it at least once with all of our clients, and it's not an ongoing thing. We just do it once and we're done with it for the year. Monthly metrics. This is a ugly spreadsheet that I put together where you can put in, you know, ad spend, number of leads, number of book calls. I didn't like their spreadsheet. I bought this from someone else from a course that I went through, and then I made a simplified version of it. And then I can see, you know, this is about how much I spend on Google Ads. Now you guys know how much we spend on Google Ads. How many leads do we get from those Google Ads? How many booked calls? What are our sales and things? So I left my numbers in here because it's a little more meaningful this way. And then you can see our return on ad spend is about $2.80 per dollar that we spend on Google Ads. If it's less than that, then I get a little weird about spending money on ads, because, you know, that's just a good way to keep track of your budget as well. All right, so daily habits. Are you doing daily consultations? Are you posting content daily? You know, those kinds of things. This gets more into the content side of things. And this will make more sense if I do this backwards. So documenting your processes and systems. So if you want to document these things, you can create videos. So, you know, as an example, if you decide to hire somebody, so let's say, Gene, you get all crazy and decide to hire a junior broker.
That'd be crazy.
What you would want to do is say, you know, here is our process. You know, when somebody comes to us, here's what we do. You know, these are the pieces of information that we want from them. And you can record that as a video. Put the video in here, you know, the link to the video, and then also put links to any resources. So, you know, here's where the documents are that you're going to need when you get a new client together. And this is just to document your processes and systems. If you're trying to grow your business, it's a really good situation. You guys are all entrepreneurs, so this may be not of interest to you since you do everything and you already know it. Yeah. Okay. Content machine. This is actually kind of cool. It's just some nice ways of coming up with content. What's your exciting new project that's going on this year? Maybe you are working on David, we just finished a new website for you. Here's a press release about our new website. Did we post it on our website? Did we post it on our Facebook? Did we post it on our Instagram? Did we post it on YouTube? And you can change these again to any of these. You may not have a Facebook business page or a Facebook group. You may have something else. So you can change these to whatever they are. I would love to see every one of our clients make a 5 or 10-minute video on every one of these things. Who are you and what's your story? Why are you doing what you do for a living? What is the number one mistake that your clients make? And how can they avoid it? Is there a big aha moment of something that you learned in your practice? Why are you so passionate about your company? Let me see if I can make this bigger. I see there is squinting going on. A story related to how you discovered or mastered your method. I know, each of you has kind of a different way of doing what you do. And there's probably a reason that you do it differently from every other appraiser, broker, MRO, consultant in the field. And why is that different? What is the first, second, third step you walk your clients through, and why? What does it mean for your client when you do all these things? And this all comes from They Ask You Answer. This was the Marcus Sheridan book that we read not too long ago. So these are things that you can use as kind of a content generator scenario, and then keep track of what you've built, what you haven't built, what you've deployed, when it was deployed on which method, and so on.
This part of the spreadsheet can also help that what content works and what content does not work. So now you know that what you should post more and what you should post less.
Yes.
So this is my part.
2 cents
this
worth.
Is my interest.
Yeah, $2,000 worth. What Adila is doing actually for Turbines Inc. They're running a photo contest, and so she is keeping track of the posts and the reactions on each of those posts for their photo contest. Which are we getting more entries from Instagram? Are we getting more entries from Facebook? And she's doing a fantastic job of figuring out, which Facebook groups, which Instagram groups, and other things are worth the money and worth the time to post on. So great job there. This next section is, you guys are all familiar with a holding pattern, right? If you have a client that is not ready to do business with you yet, you put them in your holding pattern. Just like you do at an airport, if you have to cool your heels before they will give you a landing spot. Same thing, you've got a client that's waiting for a budget, waiting for approval, waiting for something, not ready yet for whatever reason. You want to keep them warm, and you want to make as much of this as automated as possible. So, you may want to have a consultation survey or a post-consultation survey, a buyer's guide that you send to them. Here are the things that you should know before you make an aircraft purchase. A book, if you've got a book that you can send, weekly newsletter or podcast, social media touch, where you send something like, I saw this article and thought of you, friendly follow-up call, invitation to connect at a conference, all of those things. And if you have a great holding pattern, you can automate most of this using MailChimp or using some free tool or using, Infusionsoft, HubSpot, Salesforce, whatever you have. But they don't do it for you. You have to have great content in that tool or in that robot in order to make sure it gets sent out when it's supposed to be and doesn't look like spam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, not everybody is going to do everything in here. Not everybody needs everything in here. But it's a nice tool. Any questions or thoughts about this? Anything we should add to this? We do add to it every year based on customer feedback and so on.
Uh, I'm sure I'll have questions myself.
Yeah.
I have to go look through all these templates. I have not got a chance to look through everything that you've ever sent me, and that's just because that's,
Right.
that's because I've pounded 50, 60 hours a week besides selling airplanes. So
Oh,
there's certain days that I can start looking through it, and if my
yeah.
ADD doesn't kick in, I'll be in good shape. I'm
Yeah.
even trying to read the books, which is
Yeah.
you know, it's a miracle.
It is a miracle, and we're so happy to have you in our miracle. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is designed to use whenever you need it and however you need it. So, if you don't need all of this stuff, and then we've got, like little videos on goal setting and other things, little lessons and things that you can use if you just want one thing, you can do
Yeah.
that. If you just want one other thing, then you can do that. We've got different videos on different sheets of the templates so that, we go through that in more detail if you ever want that. So we'll repeat what we said today, maybe a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I don't really keep track of all that, but there's your weekly plan, your monthly plan, digital planning and goals, budget. We've got a budgets worksheet, pretty simple here. And once again, it's an Excel spreadsheet. I think we've probably done enough looking at spreadsheets that we're probably about to have our eyes fall out of our heads. But that's a fairly simple budget spreadsheet. We also have 3 ways to reduce expenses or manage your cash flow. That's a nice little section in there. Things that could go wrong and so on. And then we also offer a consultation. So this is in addition to your office hours or whatever else you're doing with us. We don't charge you extra for this. If you want to go over your spreadsheet or go over this or have us customize it with you or anything like that, you just schedule it here. Pick a time and we'll set it up. So that is easy stuff. Right. So I think we lost somebody. We lost David. Okay. It must have been the ADD kicking in. I totally understand that because I have the same problem. But I think that's probably about it for that section. Any questions on what this is, how it works, how to get here, what's included, how to use it?
So all these templates are on your website? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, you go to aviationsalestraining.com and you log in. And Tyler, I know you're not a client yet, but
Right.
yeah, we would just basically give you a username and a password for this. And you log in, you can get into anything you want here. And it's only going to be available, as I said, during January or December and January, just because it is a lot of work to kind of support people through this process. And I want everybody to be done by the end of January with their planning and everything. And if they're going to set this up, we'd like to have them finish it by the end of January if they're an ongoing client and that kind of thing. If they start some other time during the year, we'll start it for them special. So, but that's part of our onboarding process. So that's basically the gist of it. The rest of it is that, the difference between each of our marketing lab levels, they all have this worksheet, or they're all available for anybody that wants to use any of our resources and our workshops and things like that. And there's a whole bunch of them on this page. This is just one of many. So we've got strategy, planning, and budgets. We've also got
I'm back.
Hey, David. Good to see you.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I'm glad you're back. I had that happen this morning. We were doing a team meeting, Adela, you'll laugh. And I disappeared.
Oh, yeah?
My computer spontaneously rebooted and John had to tap dance and tell jokes until I got back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was no fun. But anyway, this is one of many workshops that we have on this page. We've got prospecting, trade shows, social media, promo videos, strategy planning and budgets, working with the press, resales, recaptures, referrals, and so on. And some of them people can buy separately. And some of them they have to be a client in order to get into. So like personal branding we'll do for anyone if they pay us enough money. But if you are at the gold level or above in our marketing lab, then we'll do this for you for free. So that's how that works. And those are all of the workshops that we have right now. And what it does is it just, I think, helps people get more value for their money. Because they can get into these whenever they want to, and they don't have to pay for extra hours or anything like that from us. So that's the intention with that. And of course, the differences between our marketing lab levels is the number of project hours. So this is in addition to these workshops. So if you get the workshops, you can do whatever you want as you have time with those. But if you want us to do things for you, like David, we can set up that form for you using your regular services that you're paying for from us.
Yeah.
We just use the project hours that we have with you to set up that form.
Yeah.
So the difference between our service levels is the number of hours that we spend doing projects for you like that.
Okay.
So, our silver level includes brochures, ghostwriting, email newsletters, new logos or diagrams. These are some of the things that you could have done at the silver level. They fit nicely into that that service level. Gold and titanium levels are for people that need more complex or more frequent content. They need keynotes or sales presentations or something more complex, SEO strategies or implementations. If you want us to set up or manage your Google ads and things like that, so that we have all those numbers we talked about, we can do that at the gold and titanium level. And problem solving, like, help, I keep losing customers at this point, And then what we would do is probably have you send us some recordings of sales calls, where something went wrong or whatever, and see if we can figure out what the problem is and how to solve it with you. So that's another thing that we can do at the gold or titanium level. Platinum level is basically where we become your marketing department, and you just basically throw everything over the wall to us. You don't care about the workshops because we're doing everything for you. So that's the scenario where you have a company that just hires us instead of hiring marketing people or salespeople. Not salespeople. You still need salespeople, but marketing department kind of a situation. We do have some goals. If you join us before the end of the year, you get free print ads. So, at the titanium level, that's a free full page ad with Anna Marie. I'm glad you joined us, Anna Marie. That was good timing. Anna Marie's the editor of In-Flight USA magazine. And so we have that connection with them. And what we can do is use that advertisement in conjunction with any other marketing that we're doing for you. So if you wanted to, as an example, buy that list from AirPack of all of the 141 schools, or if you wanted to run an ad in In-Flight USA to get an opted-in list of 141 organizations, you can use that ad to do that for you, and then have them come to your website and opt in. So we could use like a QR code on an ad in the magazine that comes to the form on your website and goes from there. Also, if you sign up before December 15th, you get, or upgrade before December 15th, you get more project hours. So for every level you upgrade, you get one free project hour that you can use any way you want to, anytime in 2023. So that's another way to get free work done by us, by Adela and me, and anybody else. Okay, so, those are the bonuses. Basically, before January 1st, you can get free advertising in In-Flight USA. If you jump in. Oh, you have it.
Yes.
Cool. Anna Marie would be so impressed. I don't know if you're available to.
It doesn't show up very well on the camera.
I know, I love those filters in Zoom because they make you disappear. But you have witnesses. That really was a real magazine. That's cool. And then extra bonuses before December 15th. We'd like people to sign up early because we want to spend Christmas doing Christmas things. So, if you sign up before or upgrade before December 15th, then these are the bonuses that we're offering for that. And those are the extra project hours that you can use anytime in 2023 after Christmas. See what I did there? We're trying to get out of extra work for the rest of December. So that's the deal. And, that's basically it. Start before December 15th or upgrade before December 15th for maximum value. And we look forward to working with you. So now we can get back to fly fishing or something fun, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
That stuff.
Right, exactly. And actually, all of this stuff, I know it seems like it takes a lot of time, but it's all designed to save you time because you're not starting from scratch with anything. We've got a template for just about anything you need to do. You never have to start with a blank sheet. You can always go to the workshop section and find somebody who's already done what you need done and just fill in the blanks.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's the idea.
And I'll be getting with you on a personal look at your schedule and set my stuff up for this year. I just haven't had time to even think. So I'll be getting with you before the 15th for sure, and we'll be moving forward. And I know it's a slow time of the year right now for planes in general. At least I've found out. It's just people are like, well, I think I'm going to buy an airplane at Christmas. Sometimes they just kind of just take a few weeks off and kind of just chill out a little bit. So I gotta keep telling myself that,
Yeah.
Keep digging.
Well, you got to look at it the other way. There's only 14 business days left in this year.
Yeah. I'm trying to use it as taking a break too. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is true. And, a lot of people, I think, end up with a crazy time at the end of the year because people want to complete a transaction that's maybe been hanging out for a long time.
Yeah.
And they got to get all their paperwork done in time to close before the end of the year so they get the depreciation and crazy.
Oh, you mean like doing taxes? I
don't have a template for doing taxes. We don't.
Wait till they ask you for tax advice. That's the funnest part of all.
Oh man, no. John does our accounting and our taxes, and he's not allowed to do anybody else's because we need his time.
Oh boy, I don't. Yeah, that's my kryptonite. Them taxes. It's like, my wife cringes when I start talking about taxes. So.
Yeah. Well, the neat thing is, if you do these budget spreadsheets, then next year's taxes are going to be so much easier. So you'll have all the records in one place. That's the hardest part for me is you can't see them because they're below the camera for a reason. I've got boxes of receipts down here that we need to go through before the end of the year. And that's just the hardest part for me. It's just,
I'm trying to find out how to write off my kids as employees. That's my biggest thing ever.
You can do that. I
know as much money as I give them, I have to, I got to find a way to act as part of my business. It's
right. Well, there's a lot of family businesses in aviation. And I think part of it is because of the tax benefit. You can pay your kids and then deduct it on your taxes. And I'm not sure exactly how that works, but.
Yeah, me either. I'll have to ask Trump, I guess. He knows how to do that. So.
Yeah, just don't go to jail.
I know.
We need you here.
Hey, can I still run this business in jail? I just want to know.
Yeah, that's a good question. You'd have a hard time doing those pre-purchase inspections and
yeah, that's true. That's true. I gotta think of that. So
yeah, exactly. And I think people might look at you funny if you have an ankle bracelet and you're doing.
Yeah, well, it's like your tax papers. They don't need to look that low down there. They'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. Just angle the camera up further.
That's right. That's right.
One of our lessons in personal branding is what do you really want people to see and what do you not want them to see?
True.
Keep the boxes of receipts below camera level.
It's all about perception. So.
Right. I'm giving away all my secrets today. Okay. Cool. Well, I think we're pretty close to time. I don't know if anybody has any questions before we break, or how are we doing? I'm amazed that you guys have stuck with this, spreadsheet business this long. This is a really long time for me too. You focused on budgets and stuff. So.
That's actually what I'm looking to do today. Is I got to start doing some spreadsheets, and I usually do with Excel, but I'm gonna go look at the other stuff. It might be Google Sheets might be more simplified for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's one more thing I can show you on the Google Sheets. If you want to share this with someone, you can do that. You just go to File, and I think it's
make a copy.
Yeah, you can make a copy, or you can share with others or publish to the web. I highly recommend not publishing to the web.
No.
But this is where John has nightmares, is when I'm doing something with Google Sheets, because it's one button away from making this public. So, but yeah, you can make a copy, or you can download this in Excel. So you just go here, download in Excel, and then it's secure on your computer. Anything that you do with that file is your own very, very own copy of this file, and it's not going anywhere. So that would make your security conscious spouse much happier if that's
there you go.
Thing for you. All right. Any other questions? Anything else?
Give me a call when you're offline.
Yeah,
we'll do. You can talk.
Absolutely, we'll do.